Hey guys, today I want to talk about how to avoid value traps when identifying your next commercial real estate. I wanted to talk about three crucial areas that new investors overlook. And these areas are very important when you're evaluating your commercial real estate. Understanding market rents are crucial. Below rents, above market rents, and market rents. That's going to be important really identifying how much you're making off that property. So as an example, if a tenant's paying $25 a square foot and 1,000 square feet, you're going to be making $25,000 per year. And if you're going to pay 7% capitalization rate or cap rate, you're going to be paying $357,000 for that property. Now, if you research the market and the market rate for the area is $20 a square foot, then you're overpaying for that property because $20 per square foot and 1,000 square feet is $20,000. And if you use a 7 cap, that's $285,000 for that property. And you'd be asking, well, if the rent's 25, is 25. That's correct. That's absolutely the money that is going to in your pocket. But if the tenant left tomorrow, how are you going to backfill that space? You're not going to get $25. You're going to get $20 a square foot. So you take that risk. Therefore, you're paying almost $71,000 more for that property. So that's the reason why you really need to know the market rents when you're determining a price that you're going to pay for the property. And the large reason is, tenants, when they renew or the tenants vacate, your goal is to replicate that rent higher or at that same rate as soon as possible. If you're not able to do it, your NOI is going to drop. And later on, if you sell the property, you're going to get a value decay. Second, you got to look at location. And if you guys heard, the property is in a great location or is on Main. And that's completely true. You really need to understand where it's located at. It could be in the same zip code, but one property may do better. As an example, if you have a takeout breakfast restaurant, will that business do better when it's located where there's a heavy traffic flow in the morning? Yes. If it's on the opposite side, you're not going to get the foot traction because people are going to work. They're not going to make a U-turn and go back to the other location. So that's why it's really important. And you might ask, why is that important? If my tenants are going to be doing the business and I'm just going to collect rent, why does it matter the location? It absolutely matters because if the tenant doesn't do well in that location, they're going to go out of business. Then you have to get a new tenant. That costs you money and you have no rent coming in. So that is very important for tenant retention and synergetic relationship as you build out your rent roll of tenants. And lastly, most people do not properly account for carry costs or maintenance costs. So for instance, if you're buying a duplex or triplex, most people will figure out how much taxes you have to pay. Property tax is very important. That's one of the larger component of your expenses, and insurance. But most people forget that even though you have a duplex, the tenant pays for the utility, you don't account for the common area utilities or the landscaping. Well, what if, Jimmy flushes G.I. Joe down the toilet? And who's going to make those repairs? So you don't really account for those. That's where a lot of new investors feel that they're losing money in their property. So it's very important you do your due diligence properly. That's why you have to drive it, touch it, and feel it. Commercial real estate is 4 walls and a roof. And it's how much money that 4 walls and a roof could generate for you really creates the value. All investment has risk. There are no zero risk investment, and it cannot be totally mitigated, but it can be avoided. There are no bad investments or no bad properties. There's always bad basis and bad preparation. Make sure you do your diligence because that's going to add more value to you and your property. If you found this content valuable, please subscribe and share the content so we can create more content to your liking.